When I would tell people that I was coming to Detroit and work at Channel 4, the big story then is our news was getting beat by the Little Rascals. So we were being not only beat by an independent, we were being beat by the Little Rascals on that independent station.
Ted Russell was brought in to replace Dick Westerkamp in '68.
Archbishop John F. Dearden of Detroit was one of 4 Americans named to the rank of cardinal by Pope Paul VI in Rome today.
In '71, George Pruitt, a reporter and backup anchor, replaced Russell.
Once you reach the Ohio border, buying a gun is easy. Most dealers, however, don't want publicity, especially no pictures.
In '72, the station fired respected veteran sportscaster Al Ackerman for being too opinionated. Channel 7 immediately snapped him up. In '73, Dean Miller came here to replace Pruitt as lead anchor. They also made Birmingham's Betty Carrier the first major market 6 and 11 p.m. female news anchor in America.
Everyone around me was surprised. I guess somebody there saw an advantage and knew that the other stations, 2 and 7, were eventually going to step up to the whole idea, because the women's lib movement was really catching on at that point.
Betty had been hired in '69 to anchor the midday news with co-anchor Pruitt, a time slot geared to women. Now, putting her on at 6 and 11 was characterized as a brilliant stroke, and she was described as slim, chic and glamorous, attractive, tall and striking, yet her biggest critics were women.
It really did surprise me that women took that tack. And I thought, why in the world is that? But they'd call and they'd tell me my hairdo was not appropriate, that I wasn't wearing the right clothes, that I just didn't have the right look. And I thought, well, when is what I'm saying and what I'm doing going to be of some importance?
Jim Forney had replaced Ackerman, and Dean Miller, a former actor in the popular TV series December Bride, was Betty's co-anchor.
I'm not sure, but the last time I think it kicked me back.
He really faced a bit of a headwind there, because there again, a lot of the publicity about him was Dean Miller, formerly of December Bride, So there's your start, Betty Carrier, glamorous, beautiful, statuesque. So we were both kind of twiddling our thumbs and saying, okay, where do we go from here?
After less than a year of flat ratings and not enough young viewers, Miller was out and Betty went home to have a baby. The competition was stiff, especially after ABC told Channel 7's management to spend whatever it took to build a powerhouse around Bill Bonds.
Not too long ago, we at Channel 7 asked Detroit who their favorite news people were. You told us who you liked, and we went to work.
They're snatching people, and they're kidnapping people in phone booths. Or Maryland Turner, they snatch right. We got them. We had to steal them and kidnap them, but we got them.
Bonds, Kelly, Ackerman, Turner, Channel 7's Action News team. We got who you wanted. You were right, they're good.
In '74, Channel 7 landed the final big fish, Jack LeGoff. TV2 general manager Bob McBride subtly implied that he simply couldn't match the $1 million contract that Channel 7 had thrown at his star anchor.
I suppose that most people who have been reading the newspapers the past few weeks know that Jack LeGoff has decided after, 21 years?
21 years.
Of these newscasts at 6 and 11 on TV2 to turn to some greener pastures.
Thank you, Bob.
Lots of luck to you.
Good luck,
Ray,
Jack. Been a pleasure.
Jerry,
Jack, thank
all
you
the
so
best.
much. Thank you, folks. Good night, everyone.
LeGoff's hiring was the knockout punch that pushed 7 past Channel 2 to stand atop the ratings. In 1976, having bought the rights to televise the Tigers the previous year, some fortune fell Channel 4's way.
He pops it up. Ogilvy waiting in right field. Waiting. He has it. It's all over. The Bird has won it.
The Mark the Bird Fitteridge phenomenon began on May 15th, '76, when the 21-year-old rookie, too, hit Cleveland in his first big league start. The Big Bird lookalike, just a 10th-round draft pick 2 years earlier, manicured the mound and appeared to talk to the ball. He fascinated the city and drew sellout crowds.
He's got tremendous enthusiasm. He's given 100% out there, and there's an excitement to him. He excites the fans, so that excites the players a little bit themselves. You got to love him. He's just a great kid.
After going from unknown to 7-1 with 7 complete games, the story of the kid pitcher who appeared to talk to the ball lured the network to Tiger Stadium on Monday, June 28th.
Fans ready to explode. Here's your pitch. Ground ball should be the ball game. It's over. And the Tigers act like Fidrich has just won the 7th game of the World Series.
He is some kind of unbelievable young Mark Fidrich.
Look at that. He's thanking his teammates. He's thanking the umpires, everybody, the ground crew. And the fans want him to come back. And here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, this is unbelievable. He loves them. Look at that. Shaking the policeman's hand. Look at that. This kid is terrific.
I've been in baseball 35 years. I have never in my life ever seen anything to equal this.
A week and another stellar performance later, the Bird groped to explain to Channel 4's Jim Forney why he did the things he did.
This is Mark Fidrich, who has really captured the imagination of this town. Not only has he proved he is a pretty fair pitcher, a 2-hit shutout, and a great performance last night, Mark, but also with a little color to the game. Is it on purpose, Mark?
No, it's just the way I keep my mind in the game. You know, that's just the way I do it. Like other people have their ways of doing things. That's my way of doing it, I guess. But I'm just saying to myself, I got to get this guy. You know, come on, show me how bad you want this guy. You know, something like that, just to get myself pumped up, so I get that guy. You know, where I won't get in a relaxed formation of just throwing the ball. You know.
76, when you think of what was going on in Detroit, that was really a bad year for Detroit. Young, because of budget problems, laid off 1,000 cops. And there was a huge crime wave all summer where a lot of youth gangs came to the fore. The BKs, the Black Killers, the Coneones.
As mayor of this city, I have no alternative but to take those steps necessary to reduce this $100 million deficit. We've laid off already almost 1,600 people.
The Detroit Police Officers Association protested the massive layoffs at the federal building. Chaos ensued. Channel 4 cameraman Mac Combs was hit in the head by a bottle.
We just got a shot of you, Mac, laying up against the guardrail there. What happened, really?
Well, I really don't know. I was filming, got pushed back. The next thing I know, I was on the ground looking up, and everybody had guns out, and I was in pain.
That was the summer that the gangs invaded Cobo Hall during the Average White Band concert.
There were some hostile patrons who were robbing, maiming, mugging those people who were waiting to get in. They didn't have tickets. They were crashing the doors to try to get in.
Was this widespread mugging and assaulting?
Yes, it was.
All total, 28 persons were arrested, 17 adults and 11 juveniles. They'll be charged with offenses ranging from disorderly persons to armed robbery.
And there was Mark Fidrich pitching and becoming a national figure, and his sort of gee whiz, I can't believe I'm here type of attitude. And when he won, and he had those curtain calls, and he'd come out in his stocking feet and wave to fans in the stands.
Mark was a great competitor, very laser focused on getting his job done. All of the things that you see that came into play, the fixing of the mound, the talking to the ball, talking to himself, you know, that was all the real Mark Fidrich. That was not an act.
One time we had a rain delay, and the ground crew guy wanted to come on. No. This is my domain. He said, I get paid for this. I said, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm telling you, take a break, because I'm fixing this. I was weird, because it's just, that was the way I took the game. Like Fred Gladding used to say, don't change, man. Don't change. Stop reading the paper. Be yourself.
He was great for the game, and it gave the Tigers notoriety because at that time they were in a rebuild. He was in his early 20s in 1976 when he went out there and did all those things. A lot of players would do those things, say things without saying it out loud. He did it out loud.
Fidrich got along with everybody. I mean, he's had such a vibrant, great personality. But he was the beginning. He brought the people in. He gave us hope. I was playing football, and I was thinking I was going to the NFL, but we all watched the game when the Bird pitched.
I was extremely upset with the fact that his career ended the way that it did. You know, that's what injuries do to you.
Fidrich was a candle in the wind. Remember that song by Elton John? Where the candle burned out long before the legend ever did.
As the talk of baseball in '76, Fidrich won 19 games, made the All-Star team, and met the president. But with torturous shoulder problems, he was rarely effective again and retired at 29.